What is going on, guys? The best NFL front offices can identify their problems and address them quickly. The Kansas City Chiefs knew they had to fix that awful defense from 2018. Next thing you know, they're Super Bowl 54 champions. While there are several NFL teams who have that one primary weakness that's holding them back. If they can find the final piece of the puzzle, they'll emerge as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Here are 8 NFL teams that are one piece away from being legit Super Bowl contenders. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons. Star linebacker. The offense is one of the NFL's best. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley would always put up a lot of points. They'll always give the Falcons a chance to win, but this team won't vie for a Super Bowl until they fix the defense. The Falcons have continuously tried to improve their defense through the draft and in free agency, but they haven't had any luck. They started out the house cleaning process by moving on from Desmond Trufant, Vic Beasley, and Devondre Campbell. Atlanta signed former LA Rams pass rusher Dante Fowler Jr., and they drafted Clemson corner AJ Terrell and Auburn defensive end Marlon Davidson with their first 2 picks. It's a start, but the Falcons just don't have enough game changers on the defensive side of the ball. There's talent in the secondary, led by Terrell and Keanu Neal. The front 7 boast Davidson, Fowler, and Grady Jarrett. But what if Atlanta had a star linebacker to complement this group? Deion Jones hasn't been able to build off his 2017 Pro Bowl season. Just imagine if there was a dynamic, game-changing linebacker to help Atlanta in a division that includes Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, and Drew Brees. Whether the Falcons make a trade or wait until the 2021 offseason, a top-tier linebacker is the major piece needed in order for them to compete for a Super Bowl again. The offense is set, and there's lots of talent to like on defense. They just need that nucleus in the middle of their D to complete the puzzle. Number 7, Los Angeles Rams. Stud offensive tackle. The Rams missed out on the postseason in 2019 with a 9-7 record, and many folks are already writing them off for 2020. They lost several key contributors on both sides of the ball in the offseason, and the front office has gutted its cap space and draft capital. So yeah, their long-term future isn't exactly the brightest right now. But let's think about the positives here. Jared Goff is still a very good quarterback. If he wasn't, the Rams wouldn't have played in Super Bowl 53. He has 2 dynamic receivers in Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, and a quality tight end in Tyler Higbee, who had 734 receiving yards last season. The Rams also have the league's best defensive player in Aaron Donald and a premier shutdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. Those 2 alone can mask the rest of the flaws on the defense. Goff and the Rams offense regressed last season because of a horrendous O-line, a unit that was ranked 31st by Pro Football Focus for the 2019 season. The ageless Andrew Whitworth is a bright spot, but the Rams need a superstar tackle to shore up the unit. Too bad they couldn't swing a trade for Trent Williams, or make a play in free agency for someone like Brian Bulaga or Jack Conklin. The offense is still dangerous. The defense is good enough. If the Rams just had one stud tackle to fix the O-line, they would be a contender again. Good luck getting that with very little cap space and draft capital, though. Number 6, Las Vegas Raiders. Star quarterback. The Raiders have been one of the worst teams in football over the last decade and a half, but they have an extremely bright future that the fans in Sin City should be excited about. John Gruden and Mike Mayock are building an excellent culture here. Their free agent signings in 2019 and 2020 have this team in position to contend for a long time. There are more than enough playmakers on offense, including Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Tyrell Williams, and rookie Henry Ruggs. The defense features some prominent young talent in Max Crosby, Cleveland Farrell, Jonathan Abram, and Damon Arnett. Veteran pickups Corey Littleton, Malik Collins, and Nick Kwiatkowski will bolster the front 7. So what's missing? Really just a star quarterback. Derek Carr has been the definition of both frustrating and inconsistent through his first 6 seasons. He puts up some solid numbers here and there, but he's only taken the Raiders to the postseason once. The Raiders signed former Tennessee Titans starter Marcus Mariota to push Carr for 2020. But what if neither guy fares well? All of this talent in Las Vegas will go to waste. If they had won the Tom Brady sweepstakes or added somebody like Cam Newton or Phillip Rivers, this team would be a bona fide contender. But the lack of a proven superstar QB is likely going to hold back Vegas from Super Bowl contention, unless Carr or Mariota have a big-time breakout season in them. Number 5, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pro Bowl wideout. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that the Steelers were a better team when they had Antonio Brown in the field. But his antics left the proud franchise no choice but to trade him away to the Oakland Raiders in the 2019 offseason. Then we all know how that turned out, and now he has no job or respect. Many thought the Steelers would be able to survive Brown's absence, since Juju Smith-Schuster was playing like a Pro Bowl receiver in 2018. Pittsburgh also expected big things from James Washington, who registered 44 receptions for 735 yards and 3 touchdowns. But Juju disappointed big time in his third NFL season. Losing Ben Roethlisberger in Week 2 didn't help matters by any means. Still, 42 receptions for 552 yards and 3 touchdowns was not acceptable. The Steelers expected way better from the young wideout. Perhaps Juju is better off as a number 2 wideout. In that case, the Steelers need a true number 1 in order to contend for the Super Bowl. This team had Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Roethlisberger in the fold when they reached the 2016 AFC Championship game. They won't get back there with this receiving core. And Roethlisberger, he's pretty old, so yeah. Pittsburgh has one of the best defenses in the league, led by a fierce pass rush that led the NFL with 54 sacks last season. The offensive line is elite, and running back James Conner should improve in 2020. Even if he's not 100%, Roethlisberger will provide a big-time upgrade over Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges. I mean, he's still got enough in that arm to lead Pittsburgh to the postseason. But these Steelers really need a home run threat of a receiver if they want to win an unprecedented 7th Lombardi trophy. This offense just won't function accordingly unless Smith-Schuster breaks out in 2020. Or unless the Steelers can trade for a true number 1. AJ Green? Anyone? No. Number 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 1 receiver. Like their interstate rivals, the Eagles have a plethora of championship-level talent on both sides of the ball. If only they had a true number 1 receiver to work with. Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson have been slowing down due to injuries and age. Those guys aren't number 1 receivers anymore. Carson Wentz is a top 10 quarterback when healthy. Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert might be the best tight end duo in football. Miles Sanders is a stud in the backfield. The Eagles' O-line is a top 5 unit. Their front 7 is one of the best in football. Newcomer and Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay will solidify the secondary. Now what if Wentz and the Philly offense just had a true number 1 receiver? Could Jeffrey or Djax turn back the clock? Could second-year wideout J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or rookie Jalen Reagor take major leaps in 2020? The Eagles ought to hope so, because they can't be considered an NFC powerhouse with this group of wideouts. I mean, the arch-rival Dallas Cowboys have 3 potential number 1s in Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. So if the Eagles receivers don't step up, the Cowboys should cruise to an NFC East division title thanks to their obvious advantage at the wideout position. Number 3, Houston Texans. Shutdown corner. It's frustrating to see the Houston Texans continually waste Deshaun Watson's prime. They've done nothing to address the atrocious defense that cost this team a potential championship run in both 2018 and 2019. Bill O'Brien lost stud cornerback Kareem Jackson and Pro Bowl safety Tyrann Mathieu in 2019 free agency. He traded Pro Bowl linebacker Jadeveon Clowney for a minimal return before the start of the last season. Does he expect J.J. Watt to single-handedly carry this team? Cause J.J. Watt's great, but he's not that great. Be cool if he was, but he's not. For years, the Texans had a top-level defense but horrible quarterbacks. Now, they have an elite quarterback and a horrible defense. They just need one stud, one game-changing cornerback who can fix the secondary. I mean, maybe also a few things here and there, but basically just a cornerback, and they're pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, one other thing. They should get rid of Bill O'Brien. I mean that. O'Brien failed to address the corner position in free agency and at the draft. He only focused on retooling the offense by bringing in David Johnson, Randall Cobb, and Brandon Cooks, while bidding farewell to DeAndre Hopkins. It's been like months, and I still cannot get over that. Watson and the offense can score lots of points. Watt and Whitney Merciless can get to the quarterback. But until the Texans find a stud corner who can revamp the secondary, they won't contend for a Super Bowl. They'll be a 10-win team at best, with the ceiling of 1 playoff victory per year. Number 2, Seattle Seahawks. Ball-hawking defensive back. The Seahawks are similar to the Texans. They have a world-class quarterback in Russell Wilson, plenty of playmaking weapons on offense, but some problems in the secondary. The Seahawks had the league's 6th worst passing defense in 2019, and they ranked 22nd in scoring defense, allowing 24.9 points per game, and yet they were 1 yard away from claiming the division title from the 49ers. If the Seahawks can get by as a one-dimensional team in the regular season, imagine how much better they would be with a ball-hawking defensive back. This team just isn't as dominant without Legion of Boom members Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, and Richard Sherman. Shaq Griffin is a solid corner, and trade acquisition Quentin Dunbar should provide a minor boost, but these guys aren't total game changers who flip the script, and the safety position is a big-time weakness for them. In a difficult NFC West, the Seahawks can't keep relying solely on Wilson's arm to win them games. John Snyder, find a top-tier ball-hawking defensive back somehow in some way. If you can do that, the Seahawks won't be just a playoff team. They'll be a legitimate Super Bowl contender once again. Number 1, Green Bay Packers. Reliable number 2 wide receiver. Some of you may ask why the Packers are on this list. Consider considering that they won 13 games and reached the 2019 NFC Championship game? Well, if they had a stud number 2 receiver, maybe they would have played in Super Bowl 54, and maybe they would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 54. The Packers have Aaron Rodgers, a superstar number 1 receiver in Davante Adams, a strong rushing game led by Aaron Jones, and a championship-level defense that finished 9th in scoring. But they can't get through the brutal NFC with Adams serving as the lone reliable pass catcher. Allen Lazard was 2nd on the team in receiving with only 477 yards, and Jones was 3rd with 474. The Packers signed Devin Funchess in free agency, but he's more of a number 3, and they somehow avoided receivers in the stacked 2020 draft class. That was pretty inexcusable. Sorry, but even Rodgers can't win with only one playmaking wideout. Every championship contender needs multiple options in the passing game, and the Packers better find somebody to complement Rodgers and Adams if they want to make a run at Super Bowl 55. Rodgers had 4 pass catchers hit 500+ receiving yards in Green Bay's Super Bowl 45 championship season. He had Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson for his 2011 and 2014 MVP seasons. Give this man one more stud receiver to help Adams, and they'll have as good a shot at a Super Bowl as anybody else. So what are the Packers waiting for? What other NFL teams are one piece away from being a Super Bowl contender? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We are on everything. Go find us, go follow, give the subscribe. Of course, subscribe to TPS because we post videos every single day. Every day's new sports content. Want to check that out? Definitely should. It's that red button down below, and next to that red button is the like button. Oh my god, that's so weird how they're right next to each other, or close, I don't know exactly. Anyway, you should also click that because that would also help us out and we really appreciate it. And of course, I'm Jason Biondo. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
My knee.